What's up, YouTube? Snake Cartel here, and today we got the real reason why I moved away and haven't seen my family in 2 years and live amongst the snakes. As you can see, one of them in the background here. To be honest, guys, it wasn't an overnight thing. It was definitely something that had been brewing over really the course of my entire life. You know, we started to notice little things and take note of people's behaviors towards us, and that's really what made the move easy. I feel like any big change in life you make, especially anybody that's ever moved like I did, especially this far away across country, it can be an emotional experience, but I really wasn't emotionally tied to my family like that, just being honest with you guys. And this is why I tend to prefer animals over people, reptiles in particular. You tend to know what you're going to get. People, it gets a little bit more tricky. And one thing I've noticed, and I've had issues with my parents growing up like most people, but honestly, since I moved, I feel like things between me and them have improved a bit. I guess the distance has allowed for more growth between us, I guess. But the crazy thing is what I've noticed with people that I was actually really close to growing up, and especially as I started to elevate through life. And there was a time in my life where I was a little bit more troubled and, was just struggling a little bit. And I noticed something, guys, and I feel like a lot of famous people go through this. I used to always watch videos on this, and even though I'm not like a major rapper or athlete or actor, I've kind of seen this within my own life, just with me being in the corporate world, because this is something that nobody really expected me to, obtain and have success through, especially the way I got in, which I may get into later. But I've noticed when people kind of seen me as beneath them, even though they didn't say it, or maybe at the most eye level, they were a lot more comfortable being around me. But once I started to elevate, I started noticing a lot of little weird energy between me and the certain people I was close with. And, you can always tell guys from like their vibe, and not just that, but just like the little side comments they may make. Or I know I remember there's one cousin I had. She was asking about how I was doing at my job, and she even said that she was kind of surprised that I was still maintaining and doing my thing. And I was like, I kind of made note of that. And there's been other comments I've heard just from the same person that has made me realize okay, this person really doesn't have like the same energy for me as I have towards them, because I'm the type of person, man, if I really like you, I want to see you do the best in life and just strive. Because even if you pass me, I'm like, hey, they may know something I do. I can learn from this person. Most people do not have this mentality, and anybody that's on this self-improvement journey and they're upgrading their fitness, their finances, or maybe they're in a good relationship, most people are not going to be happy for you guys, even if it's your own family. Like this stuff I've been going through with my own personal life, I'm not the only one. This is not unique, and it's kind of human nature to a degree. Of course, you're going to have people who are genuine and still rock with you and support you, because I have that as well. There's definitely some people in my family and, just my friend group as well I could definitely sense the genuine energy. And you can always sense it, guys. I feel like that's just innate within us as humans. And I used to always try to just deny it and maybe think that, oh, maybe I'm just being paranoid or I'm just being silly. But there's always been repeated patterns I've seen with these people that just let me know that they secretly have like this animosity towards me or jealousy. And I'm the type of person, man, like if you want to, find out about something or maybe get to the level that I'm at, I'll give you as much game as I need. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to, make you feel bad about yourself. And it can sting a little bit, especially when you're really close with certain people, because you're like, man, like I thought we were cool. Like this is somebody that I thought was like my sibling. And it just goes to show you guys that people, you never know what's going on inside people's heads. And maybe they might have had that genuine love for you when they, like I said, when you were still beneath them or at most eye level. When you start to rise above them, it can cause a lot of jealousy, guys. And that was something that kind of surprised me, honestly. And this is why I rock with the snakes, guys. Even if they may want to bite the crap out of me, I know what they expect, man. I don't got to worry about them being jealous or, plotting against me. And I feel like it's more rewarding dealing with animals in general. I've always liked animals, and anytime you start living your dream, guys, and start gaining more freedom, the people are going to take issue with that, guys. That's one quote I've heard. I forgot where I heard it, but they said with success comes enemies. And sometimes those enemies, a lot of times those enemies will be the people closest to you. And I feel like it comes from a lot of people thinking like, man, what we come from the same place. Why don't I have what he has? Or and it's laziness, guys. Like what my thing is, if I want to be where somebody else is at, I genuinely ask them. I ask them for advice or maybe some things they've learned along their journey. Because I've definitely done this in the past. I've admired people that I felt like were once at my level and have risen above their circumstances. And I truly don't get the mindset of why people just feel the need to keep people down. I've never been that tight. I know this happens a lot with people in romantic relationships. They may have a partner that tears them down. I know if you guys have ever seen that 600-Pound Life show, a lot of those husbands, man, when the wife starts losing weight, they start getting a little scared. And I never understood that. If you really have genuine love for somebody, you want to see them at their best, not their worst. Some people just have this sick mentality of, just being above people, and I just really don't get it. It really shows, to me, it's big fish, small pond syndrome. And I used to notice this a lot with me coming from a small town. A lot of people, they thought they were, big stuff, but outside of that little zip code you're in, you're really nobody. And, I feel like it's good. I feel like a lot of people have seen this with people who particularly peaked in high school or even college. People that kind of have it all, and it really doesn't motivate them to do any better. So I feel like I was kind of like in the in-between state. I had a little bit of, success, or, I wasn't like totally low on the totem pole, but I feel like it was just enough to motivate me to want to be better. And I feel like people who kind of have everything given to them early in life, it really doesn't motivate them to achieve any real success or strive for any self-improvement and analyze any flaws you may have. Here's one of my other snakes, guys, my mangrove snake, for those of you who aren't familiar. But yeah, guys, I even noticed too, like whenever I hit up certain family members, and I'm not somebody, it'd be one thing if I was asking them for money or something, like, asking for a favor, but just to see how they were doing, just no response. I started noticing this. And even before I moved, I just tended to notice that the energy was never the same for me that I have for them. Anytime any one of my friends or family members that I rock with, they get some type of achievement in life, maybe it's a new house or a new apartment, I always pull up. And anytime I would get to say that, I never had that same energy. I would always invite them. There would always be excuses. And these may seem small, but you got to pay attention to the little things, guys, because these are signs about how people feel about you. You may not think that they're significant at the time, and you'll probably mentally take note of that and just brush it off. But trust me, guys, it means something. It shows that the effort and energy is just not the same. And you want to implement, you want to have this view of, people within your platonic relationships as well as romantic. And when that energy is not being reciprocated, it's best to just cut them off, guys. You're better off being around people that truly support you or just nobody at all. I prefer solitude over fakeness for sure. And that's something that's definitely become more clear to me with me being alone and me being out in the middle of all the way across the country, especially before I had my girl. I just had plenty of time to think, and that time of isolation really made a lot of things clear to me. And I feel like everybody kind of needs that at some point in their life. That solitude will definitely bring about many truths in life for sure, and it'll really show you your own potential, man. I'd rather. And I've spoken with this about other people. I know quite a few people that have been through the same thing, and I definitely don't regret moving. Moving, I feel like, was just part of my destiny, and it really just showed me who's really on my team. Especially when you move away far, guys, it'll definitely forcefully distance you from people that don't need to be in your life. Definitely let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys have gone through any similar situations, and just let me know your story in the comments. I'm curious. I'm always curious about other people's experiences in life, and I think I'm going to conclude the video here. I got some meetings to take care of before the day is over. Thankfully, it's Friday, so my day isn't too crazy. About to drink me some of that green juice, man. You already know I got to get my green juice. I just had a few watermelon slices for breakfast, and I got me some, I don't know if you guys have ever had like the Poppin' Bottle brand, those matcha lattes they have. I'm addicted to those, guys. Definitely highly recommend. But yeah, we finishing off this morning in a healthy and positive way. And you guys like, hype, and subscribe. Tell me how you like the video. Snake Cartel out.